Welcome back to the channel, guys. And it is finally time. Chainsaw Man is here. And let me start off right away by saying that this was great. The episode was fantastic. And I will say that, remember guys, I'm not a manga reader. I am not a manga reader. I wanted to go into this series completely blind. And after this episode, I can fully understand why people love this series so much. It was very good. The opening is phenomenal. Let's just say that right away. I'll just start off by saying the opening is absolutely phenomenal for Chainsaw Man. I feel like I might be one of the only ones that noticed all of the references while I was watching the opening. And I was really impressed because I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, they have mega iconic scenes from very influential movies. Like, I think Pulp Fiction is one of the scenes. I think No Country for Old Men is one of the scenes. It's just really cool that they would do something like that. And I really liked it. Now, I could sit and talk about how great it is, probably for a while, but let's just jump straight into it and finally talk about Chainsaw Man Episode 1. Now, the first half of our episode is really dedicated to really showing us that, Denji's life fucking sucks. This man is going through it. As our episode literally starts, it's a dream sequence of Denji apparently walking down what appears to be an alleyway to approach this one specific door. And as he reaches out to open the door, he wakes with a start, and we see that he lives in this rundown, shitty old shack. As Denji wakes up for the day and decides it's time to go to work. And I actually really like this scene of him just walking along because it really hammers home, again, the fact that, Denji is in a really bad situation. As he's naming off all the things he's done to try to get money, like, oh, okay, I sold one of my nuts for $100,000. I sold one of my eyes for $300,000. I sold a kidney for $1.2 million. And cutting down trees every month is $60,000. So I've got a good amount of money, but I still owe, what was it, 38,040,000 yen? Like, what an insane amount of money to owe. And it gets revealed that it was because of his father. His father left him debts before he died. And as he's walking along, we see that he has a little demon companion with him, actually, who's adorable, by the way. I've heard people talk about this thing long before the show came up. This thing is freaking adorable. And he actually uses him to hunt demons, because demons pay the most money by far. Or devils. Devils and demons, same thing really. But he hunts them so he can collect money to pay off this debt. And we see, at least with low-level devils, that Denji's pretty good at it, as he takes out the tomato devil fairly easily. But right away, we gotta get reminded that Denji's life sucks, as he gets approached by the man that hired him for the job, saying how, oh, good work, Denji. The carcass will fetch a really good price on the black market. I'll pay you $400,000 for it. Oh, but let's see. After what you owe and the interest fee, that's about $170,000. After that, we gotta factor in the finder's fee, the admin fee, management costs, and so on. And our boy Denji's only left with $70,000. But life's cruel because he's got to pay the water bill and he has to pay off other debts he owes. So he really only walks away from that job with 1,800 yen. And he has to make that last a month. Really showing that, our boy Denji gets screwed over. And it's here we get a scene with the man that hired him, as one of his lackey asks him, like, alright, why do you hire a kid like this to hunt devils? And he tells him that, the thing with devil hunters is, for one, they don't let us keep the body afterwards, which is pretty dumb. We need that. And two is the fact that Denji's special because he does what he's told. And we even get a scene where they drive up next to him and taunt him, saying, yo, eat this cigarette, kid, and I'll give you 100 yen. And of course Denji does it. And it just really shows that Denji, his whole life, he's never had a chance to live his own life. He's always been at the beck and call of other people. He's never had a chance to properly live himself, to experience his own life. And it really shows in this scene. They're really making Denji a sad character, man. As we transition to a pretty depressing scene, actually, of Denji and Ponchita, I believe it's pronounced, as they're in the shed and they're just sitting around talking with each other that, I heard that normal people put jam on their bread before eating it, but normal's just a dream for us, though. Like, really beating us over the head with the fact that Denji's life sucks, man. As Denji says, if I could have one dream come true, it's that I want to score with a girl before I die. And I'm like, oh, that hurts, man. I feel you. I feel you, Denji. I feel you on that. And it's here we transition to a gut punch scene where we just see Denji standing over his father's grave. And we see that the guy that hired him is there too, as he tells him, boy, you've got until tomorrow to put 700,000 together. You can beg for it, whore yourself out, I don't care, but get it done. Otherwise, we chop you up and sell the bits as they drive off. And Denji, being a kid, is obviously overwhelmed in this situation. But it's here that he actually meets Ponchita and notices that he's gravely injured. And Denji, seeing this, decides to himself that not again. I can't let this happen again. As he gets a flashback to his father. And he decides, bite me. Bite me right now. I heard that devils can heal themselves by consuming blood. If you want to live, bite me. So Ponchita does bite him, but Denji says, it's not for free. My blood's not for free. This is a deal. You help me, and I'll help you. And that's how their partnership is formed. Because at the end of the day, he doesn't want to die either. And it's in this scene that we really see just how close that Denji and Ponchita are with each other. They're probably the only things that each other have right now, and they are extremely close because of it. But we actually get a pretty alarming scene that happens now where Denji coughs up blood. As he says that, I heard my mom died from some heart disease that made her cough up blood. As he gets interrupted by his one employer telling him that, I got a devil for you, Denji. It's time for work. And it's here they get to the scene where this devil supposedly shows up. But something's strange here. It's very quiet. And Denji even comments that, it's quiet here. Where's the devil at? As his one employer turns around and says, Denji, we're grateful to you, right? You're as loyal as a dog and you work cheap like one too. Only problem with dogs is I can't stand the stench. As Denji and Ponchita get stabbed in the back right here. Both of them run all the way through with a sword. As it's revealed that these guys sold themselves to a devil, the zombie devil, and now they are his puppets, basically. As he sicks all the zombies on Denji, Denji desperately tries to run away. But being as wounded as he is, he can't get that far. And eventually he gets a giant slash in his back. As they all pile on top of him and just start stabbing into his back. As Denji says, I'm not asking to be rich here. I'm just asking for a normal life. And I can't even have that. As we see, he gets brutally murdered. Like, actually murdered. And let me say, guys, that scene in the dumpster is tough. It's tough, man. Just to see his body there all cut up and destroyed is just really, really tough to see. Even Ponchita is cut in half. We see one trail of blood come out of Denji's severed head as it trickles all the way into Ponchita's mouth. As we get a flashback to him and Denji before all this. As Denji tells him, there's a good chance I'm going to die fighting a devil. My only regret would be leaving you on your own. As he says that, I heard some devils can take over dead bodies. So if that's something you can do, then I want you to have my body, Ponchita. I want you to live a normal life and die a normal death. You've got to make my dream come true. Really showing that they were beyond close with each other. As we see in present time that Ponchita is putting his body back together. As we transition to a very personal scene between them, as Ponchita actually talks for the first time and tells Denji that, I always loved hearing you talk about your dreams, Denji. Here's the deal. I'll give you my heart, and in exchange, I want you to show me your dream. As Denji comes back from the dead. But something's a bit off because he has a ripcord hanging out of his chest now. Now, the zombie devil obviously ain't too happy about this as he sicks the zombies onto Denji in this moment. And we get a great scene with Denji where he says, these guys had plenty already, so why'd they want even more? He says, am I the same though? I was never completely satisfied with the life I had with Ponchita. I always wanted more. I guess we all dream stuff like that. So I can't really blame you then, and I won't. But if you get in our way, you'll die, as they all dogpile on top of him. And the zombie devil thinks everything's fine, like, oh, he's bound to stay dead after being eaten. But we just start hearing the startup of a chainsaw down there. And I gotta admit, guys, it's pretty freaking badass. As he just busts out of the body, just screaming at the top of his lungs. Chainsaws blaring, and it's a really dope scene. And I heard some people complaining about the animation of this show. Y'all are crazy. His chainsaw form looks fantastic. And it's here he just goes on an absolute rampage. Just taking out one of the zombie devil's eyes and just running through all the zombies right here. It's a very cool scene. Very well animated. And again, Denji's just absolutely tearing through these zombies, trying to get back to the zombie devil. And when he does get back to him, and he connects with him, the blood and gore is insane as he stabs his chainsaw into his brain. And we literally see the zombie devil's eyes roll back in his head as Denji just absolutely tears him up, cuts him clean down the middle, and kills him. It's freaking brutal. And I love it. And as he's just standing there, he looks around him and says, oh, there's still all these devils around, huh? You guys hired me to be a devil hunter after all, so I better kill all the devils, right? As he just maniacally just starts tearing through everyone there, killing every last zombie that's there. And it's here that we transition to some people approaching this abandoned warehouse as this is all coming to fruition, and they just come in and see the absolute carnage that is left there. As they look up and see that Denji's still there. But instead of getting freaked out, the one female actually approaches him. She tells him that you have a strange smell, not like a human or a devil. I take it you did this? Now Denji's exhausted in this situation. He's about to pass out, but before he does, he tells her to hug him. And she actually does. She grabs him and embraces him and holds him up. As the chainsaw powers start to evaporate and Denji goes back to being human. As she tells him that, I came here to kill the zombie devil and I'm a devil hunter from public safety. Now she lays him down on his back and tells him that you have two options right here. You can die as a devil, I can kill you as a devil, or I can keep you as a human. If I keep you, I'll make sure you're fed. Now, I haven't read the manga, guys, but I know how their relationship is. We literally see it in the opening. I know how it is when she says, I'll keep you fed. I gotta say, though, seeing the look on Denji's face in this situation is really enduring, because you can tell it's like, he never thought something like this would happen ever in his life. As he literally asks her, like, so, like, what's for breakfast, then? As she names off stuff like, oh, you know, maybe bread with butter and jam, salad, coffee, maybe a little bit of dessert? As Denji just looks on shocked, because again, he never thought he'd have anything close to normality in his life. As he says, that sounds awesome. And our episode ends. And I gotta say, guys, in this one episode, they did such a great job of introducing us to Denji, telling us his struggles, and really making us root for him immediately. I will say, this show did that extremely well. I already really, really like Denji as a character, and I really want to see where he goes from here. I'm extremely happy I did not read the manga, honestly, that I'm going into this completely blind, because this was very enjoyable. This episode was fantastic. And again, I understand, at least to an extent, why people love this series so much. I'm going to say it's because of Denji. Denji so far is a fantastic main character. I already love him. So I can't wait for next week's episode. But you guys let me know what you thought of this episode down below. I know some of y'all are going crazy. Like, yo, best episode of anime ever. Nothing will ever top this. Yo, fucking peak fiction, bro. I know some of you are doing that right now. So let me see some of that passion in the comments, guys. Let me know how you felt about it. But until the next episode, guys, which I'm extremely excited for, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, have a blessed day, and find you someone like Pochita, man. Him and Denji's relationship is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. But until then, I'll see you guys.